we go inside, I want to talk about the trees in the front.
Yes, yes, the orchard.
An orchard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pear trees.
Well, we're going to have pear trees and apples and cherry trees because it was a cherry orchard. We told Damian that we would like a cottage surrounded by a garden.
Oh, lovely.
And he took that and just ran with it.
In a traditional 1950s
1950s
neighborhood.
neighborhood.
So this isn't a big plot of land we're talking about
No,
here.
in fact,
No, not at all. And we liked that. We did not want a larger footprint.
Right.
I mean, we wanted a small, and for practical reasons, we didn't want to spend all our time cleaning. So these
Right.
these McMansions, you know,
They take over your whole life when
they,
you have those.
they,
Yeah.
they do, and it's about this idea of small being the new big, and the small house. If it's unique enough, and there's enough novelty within it, and Damian allowed the light to come in, and so every day during the day, the walls look different, and it's exquisite.
John Kotarski, Ann Arbor homeowner who worked with architect Damian Farrell on our Damian on Design segment today on 1290 WLBY. Let's go inside now, Damian. What did you do to give them the space they wanted to entertain?
Well, the challenge was we only had 8 feet of space to work with before we hit the side setback line. So talk about really sliding this in, if you will. But I think that the focus was on trying to create more space for the living room, because the way the living room was laid out, it was awkward, difficult, and as the Kotarskis had entertained a larger group, you had to start moving furniture around, moving dining room, and so on to accommodate that. And so that 8 foot actually really it changed the orientation of the living room. So it turned, you know, from parallel to the long walls of the house to perpendicular, and then we were able to continue that idea of a lot of glass on that east side. I mean, on that south side, and that design will extend into replacing the original deck on the south side, but also introducing a water feature, a koi pond, that will come right up to the house, and that was part of what you guys asked for as well, was that this piece of land should not just be the house and the garden, but also be a place where you can actually feed yourself off of.
Absolutely.
So our phase 3 part of this, which is excavating at the back of the house to expose a walkout from the lower level, creates a sun pocket garden, a terraced garden, which is going to be a growing place for, we talked about tomatoes, strawberries. So it'll be a series of probably 3 terraces, and a walkout area with a place to sit with a French cafe table, and we've talked about a gravel, sort of classic French gravel courtyard area.
Oh, lovely.
Down there as phase 3. So, you know, there was this challenge, and then there are all these books. You know, academics have books, lots of books.
Lots of them.
You know, how to accommodate this, and so I said, well, let's go up, let's go vertical with this little 8 foot addition, and let's see if we can't sneak a library in on the second floor in a space that's 8 foot deep, by probably, what, I don't know, if I recall, 12, 14 feet long.
That's right.
And so we were able to tuck a spiral stair, and the library sort of seems to, it's designed to appear like it's hanging in the space. And
Did
so,
you have an upstairs or no?
No.
Well, no,
This
we
is
had
a ranch?
We had no
Pure
upstairs,
ranch, yeah.
and he said, you know, tuck in a library. Well, we love the idea. How are you going to tuck in a library? You know, and the thing about Damian, which we absolutely loved, we realized, you know, we were in the same tribe, is that we had other architects, and they wouldn't even give us an idea of a design until we signed a contract that would commit us to like $35,000. And you know, and Damian came with a sketch pad, and he started drawing things. We were just amazed. It's like, we're not paying you, you know, we're just interviewing you. And he had such wonderful ideas. We fell in love with his
That's
concepts.
how he works, yeah.
He works like that, and he figured it out.
So you take to get up to this lovely tucked away library now.
Mezzanine library, so it's overlooking
Oh,
all of the
I bet you
other
love
rooms.
going up there.
There's only one chair. It's my wife's library. There's only one seat in the library. It's her library. She goes up every morning to have tea. And the spiral staircase that goes up in the living room. So it's wonderful.
What a unique aspect to have this in
well,
that
even
neighborhood.
within that 8 foot, we left a portion of the floor open, so that as you walk out into that 8-foot addition, you actually look up into the library. So it's not as if it's completely cut off. It's
Right.
actually added a very slim 2-story space that flows up,
Lovely.
and the bookcases, sort of hang on the wall visually.
Beautiful.
And
What did you do with the kitchen?
Put it in the living room. And we love it. Because, cooking for us is a performance. We love to cook. And that's how we entertain. And, so there are different courses, and there's more conversation. So put an island and stick it exactly. We thought, really? It kind of looks good to us. Then we started looking at modern designs as we travel. And that's exactly what's happening, is that they're making the kitchen a part of the larger room,
Right.
the larger entertaining room, and the dining room is off to the side.
On every HGTV show where they're doing this buying, selling, remodeling, every single couple wants the open concept.
Right.
That is the buzzword right now, open concept. How long do you think that's going to last? Where we, I think people love the large open spaces. We like to interact. Obviously, to entertain, you really need that today. But is that going to be a trend that'll stick with us?
I think this is a fundamental change that'll stay with us. And particularly, if you take John and Terry, to whom this is such a passion, the preparation of food. The one problem with the old kitchen was with its L shape, 2 people working, you keep bouncing off each other and bumping into each other. We did a linear kitchen, so like a galley kitchen with a freestanding island. It means neither of you, or even one person, there's no corner to get boxed into.
Right.
So you can move around the island. And also now, because cabinets are so varied and you have such tremendous options on style and so on, that you can transform what looked like just a kitchen before into pieces of furniture. So you can really integrate the design, even though it's obvious there's a stove, there's an oven, but even the appliances have become pieces of art.
Oh, they really have.
The design has changed so dramatically that they're very elegant. You get these things that just seem to be seamlessly attached to or inserted into cabinets now with, no space around them, and very elegant stainless steel trim. And so you can really take a kitchen design, and so at a moment when it's not in use, it's a thing of beauty.
Damian Farrell from Damian Farrell Design Group. John Kotarski, how has this changed your life and you and your wife and how you live?
Well, dramatically, and as I said, kind of surprisingly so, is that, and I was sort of digging into exactly why, because what we found, we loved to get up in the morning and just sit in the space, and it invigorated us, and our work became better, literally. So it raised the bar, if you will. And I think that's the kind of subtle effect of exquisite design, is that it challenges you, and it basically, you are surrounded by this sense of balance. And there are some studies that have suggested that novelty, not size, is really what's important, and that's what it is with this particular design. There is Greg Burns wrote a book, Satisfaction, about the science of true fulfillment. And the experiment he did was put drops of water on the back of your tongue, and put 2 drops of plain water, 1 drop of sugar water, 2 drops of plain, drop of sugar water, and measure the pleasure sensors in the brain. And every sugar drop, the brain pleasure sensors would light up. After about 25 cycles, it diminished, and after 50, it didn't, until he changed it. So 1 drop of sugar, 5 drops of plain. 1 drop of sugar, 2 drops of plain. It's novelty, not size, that creates pleasure. That's what your design does for us.
And now we're back to chocolate.
Well,
How wonderful.
This is a good strategy. It just occurred to me, when we were interviewing clients, it's just to walk in with a little dropper bottle and say, would you mind lying down for a couple of minutes? We'd like to go through this little exercise with you before we start talking about
You
design.
can see the Kotarski home on Ann Arbor's west side. It's the Remodeler's Home Tour. It's coming up September 28th through the 30th, 2012. Friday 3 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday noon to 6. And to tour the homes in advance, you can go online to bragannarbor.com. This is number 3 on the tour, and you can start anywhere you want
Right, correct.
on the tour. And again, sponsored by the Builders and Remodelers Association of Greater Ann Arbor. That's bragannarbor.com. And visit Damian's website as well, dfdjonline.com. DFDJ.
G.
I'm sorry, G.
DFDG.
DFDG.
Online.
Online.com.
Right.
Damian Farrell Design Group. G. Got it. DFDGonline.com.
Thank you.
What a wonderful project that this has been, and obviously a great friendship has been forged
It has.
because of
It
it
really
as well.
has.
That's right,
That's
exactly.
marvelous.
And the best part of it all is hearing Terry's laugh.
Yes, yes.
Is that
Terry
right?
has the greatest laugh in the world. It fills the neighborhood, not just the room.
Isn't that
I
marvelous?
fell in love with that laugh, I'll tell you, yes, exactly.
And creating a home where lots of laughter can happen. And
That's right.
beautiful. And I'm sure your neighbors love the fact that you are still in the neighborhood. You know, that is remarkable in this day and age when people are looking at doing something different and moving and all of that. And I love when these older homes and older neighborhoods are renovated and kept beautiful. That's what makes our town so
It doesn't
great.
take much to do.
It's inspired them to do something similar. And the important thing is, few of them get an architect first. A remodeling, they think the builder can do it.
Right.
And, I would recommend to your listeners that an architect is well worth it. A good architect now, like Damian Farrell, is well worth the money.
Damian on Design each week. Our special guest, John Kotarski. I hope you have many, many more years to come in a beautiful new home. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you can see that home again, September 28th through the 30th, 2012, at the Remodelers Home Tour. Damian Farrell from Damian Farrell Design Group on the Lucy Ann Lance Show, Ann Arbor's Talk Station, 1290 WLBY.